is for Bandage. B is for Bandage.
Hiya, welcome back to the channel. So, somewhat recently, I fitted a performance exhaust manifold, and since fitting that, it has made a difference to the sound, to a point where it sounds quite comical and borderline annoying. But this isn't helped because I don't know if anyone's been watching since the start of this channel, but the first video that I made, or one of the first videos I made, was fitting a motorcycle exhaust, and that exhaust, a few years on, a couple of years on, is still fitted, but it is starting to deteriorate somewhat. So what I intend to do is permanently repair it with a temporary repair. So what is this? Well, this is like a bandage, an exhaust bandage, which we'll have a look at in a minute, but directions and instructions state, you know what, before I go into that shit, let's have a look at where the problem is. There's two problems. The first one, I'm going to repair one of these. The first one is there. There is not a massive hole, but a significant enough hole to make it noisier than it would be without said hole. So I'm going to patch that one up with one of these. The other issue that I've got is that the tip is quite fucked as well, and my plan for that is I'm just going to put one of them cheap shit exhaust tips on it that you see in like pound shops, but I went to the pound shop and they didn't have any, so I still got to find one. But for now I'm going to focus on this one. So what do I need to do? Well, these are some of the tools that I'm probably going to require, and the first one is that I need one of them, and I need to go under here, and then I shut my eyes and do this until it gives me a nice, clean and smooth surface to adhere to. Yes. And while pulling off sort of contortionist sort of moves and doing various strokes and hitting it and all sorts of shit, I'll keep on doing this until it becomes a bit cleaner. I'll just point out something. Where the hole is it appears to be, if you look at the exhaust there, a very well designed manufactured system. It goes up there and then it drops down a little bit and then goes up again, and that's like a point where it's going to collect water. And anyone who knows about sort of hydrocarbons and burning shit, when you burn stuff, if you notice when your car's putting out water or water vapour, it's not because of, I mean, this is a bit of a lesson now actually to anyone who doesn't know this. Most people do know this, but it's not because it's you know, from moisture in the atmosphere. You know, when you get like emulsified oil in your oil cap, it's not like from your head gasket, it's usually from the burning of hydrocarbons or fuel. And one of the byproducts of that is steam, or H2O. So when you exhaust, especially on a cold day, you get condensation in your exhaust because the exhaust is cold, or in your crankcase in your engine, which is why sometimes your oil goes emulsified if you do a lot of short journeys, because it's not warm enough, so the water condenses on the cold engine for a bit and it ends up in the oil, usually the oil cap. So anyway, completely irrelevant, but that's why this is rotted, because the water has settled in that point, which is the lowest point of that bit. That's what I'm assuming anyway. Anyway, back to what we're doing. I'm going to keep on hitting it and keep on scrubbing it. Yeah. And I'll keep on doing this until it's something like smooth. And fuck it, that'll do. What I haven't done though is I haven't shown you what it sounds like. You know, that's quite important to the sort of relevance of this video. I haven't shown you what it sounds like as it is now, so I will proceed and do that now. And that is how it sounds. As I said, bordering on the ridiculous and annoying. So, as I was looking at this before, we've got directions. We've cleaned the dirt off. We've already done that. Now I've got to take the well, better open it, Anna. Now let's admire the contents. Right, so we've got a bandage. We've got that. And we have got some fucking out. We've got some heat-proof fixing material, and inside this bandage we do have, I'm sure we have, a piece of foil. Right, so if I can find that, then we can make a start. Yes.
The aluminum foil, never settle for less.
So as previously mentioned, we have got a bit of foil, and this is our heat shield. So the idea is we wrap that round first. As I've previously shown on this channel, I'm not very good at wrapping, but I'm going to try putting this on in a useful manner. Now the hole isn't that big, and I'm not filming anything, I told you I'm very good at this shit. So I need to do that so it's tight and covers up the hole. So we've got a tight hole. So I'll wrap that round something like that. And then next I need to put the bandage over it. And before I can do that, I need to carefully moisten the bandage along its complete length to make it at least some level of pliability. Now this bit is probably going to be quite messy because I've wet it in the area where I'm lying. What a fucking idiot. I could just move the car forward, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lie in it. So what I need to do is I need to wrap this round as tight as possible. And I am going to need 2 hands to do that, unfortunately. But you can see the gist of it in this kind of manner. And the trick is to keep it tight as you can all the way around. And don't cut the bandage off, just keep on going until you run out. Even if it goes past where the actual hole is that you're covering up. So now I've got a bit of tin foil, or a bit of whatever it is, a bit of thin steel, I don't know what the fuck it was. A bit of foil, and I've got a bandage around it. And now I need to make sure that doesn't fall off, which is where this stuff comes in. And this, I need to wrap round it as well. And we wrap it round in sort of a standard kind of wrappy aroundy sort of manner, whilst keeping it tight, making sure it sort of goes across itself, so then it holds itself in place. And my method for doing this is going to be, get it so both of the ends are together. So it goes from the left to the right, and then it comes back again, and then meets the first end, get them next to each other, and then I'm going to get a pair of pliers and twist the shitters together. And I'm going to keep on twisting until it's tight. And then when it's all tightened up and secure in a manner that's unlikely to detach itself from the vehicle, we leave it to dry. I mean, you can leave the car ticking over for a bit to warm it up, but I don't need to use the car yet, so fuck it, I'm going to leave it for a bit. And then I'll leave the car ticking over for a little bit as well, just double check. But for now, I need to go and wash my hands because they are covered in shit. So something to take into account if you're going to fit one of these. They're messy as fuck. And I've left it for a while, but probably not long enough, so I'm going to start it up and let it tick over just for a bit until it dries. As if by magic that should be long enough, so let's see if it sounds any better. As if by magic, that's a significant improvement, so hopefully it won't piss me off as much when I'm driving the shitter. So now I need to go and find a shop that sells exhaust tips, and when driving it, that improvement is enhanced further. There's a starting mileage, by the way, because I'm going to try and sort of see how long this lasts within reason. I'm not going to wait like a year or nothing, but a few weeks. And I did manage to find a shop that sells the exhaust tips, and if you look at it, it's proper sick, because not only was it only like £5.95p, but it points downwards. It's for a diesel, so maybe it'll turn the car into a diesel, or maybe just to be different, we can point it upwards like that. Yes. So how do we fit the exhaust tip? Well, if we look, it's got a screw in it. I mean, that's actually a battery screw, because the screw is missing out of this one. That's for a battery of a motorcycle. But what we do is, well, first you can take the coating off, but it's got like a plastic coating and stickers and stuff on it, but I've no interest in doing that. That's just for aesthetics. But all we do is we just put it on, and when it's all the way on, and hopefully what this will do, if we look at it now, it's not coming out underneath the car, it might come out behind the car when we're driving. And because we're going so fast, we'll leave the sound waves behind us post sonic boom. But yeah, we put it on like that. I mean, you could try and seal it round here, but I don't think anyone ever bothers with that. So I'm not going to bother with that anyway. I'm just going to tighten this up until it's tight to a point. I mean, this is going into like crumbly shitty metal, so it might not actually tighten up, but it seems to be doing. It's probably tight enough that, but let's carry on going until something breaks. There we go. That might not fall off. Now we can see just how good it actually looks. It is in fact chrome and very sexual. Also, first day of autumn today, so it's all fucking downhill for 6 months. It's just going to get darker and colder, so it's going to be shit. But for now, at least we've got some sunshine left. Let's see if it sounds any different. Probably hard to say, to be honest with you, but there's my Instagram if anyone's interested. And when driving it, the sound is a little bit different. It's actually a little bit quiet, a little bit less harsh, but a little more echoey. Which is weird, I'm surprised about that. I didn't think it'd do anything. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of the shit. I will put, because it's the 1st of September when I'm making this, but the video probably won't go out for a few weeks. And I will put like a comment, a pin comment as to how it's doing. And I'll change it as required for when it fucks up or if it fucks up. So anyway, that's it, and I'll see you next time.